Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony for Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at the SH Figuarts Naruti OBITO, and his second name is Hollow Dreams of Despair. So, I don't know what any of that means. I love Naruti, it's probably my favorite anime ever, but I'm lying. I haven't watched it. I don't like it. I watched it a little bit and didn't like it, but I like the figures. This is the thing. People like to say I'm biased. The Naruti line from SH Figuarts is probably their best anime-based line right now, and I don't think it's even close. One Piece, one of my favorite anime, is making horrible figures. Dragon Ball's somewhere in the middle. These figures are way better. And if I'm telling you that, then you know it has to be true, because I want nothing more than for everything Naruti to disappear. No, I'm joking. But anyway, this is a good one. You guys asked for me to review it. I don't know. I can't remember if Big Bad Toy Store provided this one or not. I've been sitting on it for a couple days now, and I don't remember. So if they did, thanks Big Bad Toy Store. If not, well, it is in stock there, and that's where I got it. I don't know if I bought it or if they sent it. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a good one, mostly. There's some weird stuff about it, but it's mostly good. So let's go ahead and get it off the stand and take a closer look. Alright, before we get into the review, let's look at the package. The Naruti packaging is probably the least well, the Dragon Ball stuff's kind of that way too. One Piece is the best packaging. Theirs is alright. I like the heavy black line work that they kind of throw on top of the figure. That looks good. But otherwise, the packaging is fairly basic. I think I still like it more than the Dragon Ball at this point, though. The Dragon Ball packaging is just blah. But this one's not super interesting. But still, okay, there you go. Packaging, if you care about it, that's what it looks like. Here is the figure that we're going to talk about. This guy stands just about 6¼ inches. That's going to make him roughly, we'll call it 15½ centimeters. Here he is up against a Marvel Legends Darwin. Darwin, could you just once in a while stand up straight, please? You could probably put him in with your 1/12 scale if you wanted to. And there he is with a Marvel Select cap, not gonna fit, and a McFarlane Toys Batman, still probably too big. Okay, so this guy is a pretty cool design. He's got kind of a lot going on. No paint work that's for like detail stuff. It's just what you really need to have. So you get the little belt, and then the coloring right there, the sleeves and stuff, but that's it. There's no shading or anything. So it's kind of basic looking, kind of, I don't want to say cheap, but it does look kind of basic. There's a lot of just blank plastic, bald plastic, nothing done. His Pokeball is painted pretty well. That's okay. But yeah, it's a lot of bare plastic. Luckily, it's not shiny or anything, so it doesn't look bad at all. His toes are painted, of course, because Naruti fans love toes. Yeah, it's basic, but it's done well enough. I don't mind it when it's a nice finish. It's not glossy, so I'm okay with it. His face looks really nice. His eyes, I guess this is the one where Naruti threw jam in his eye, and so it's like purple or something. I don't know. And then he's got some wrinkles. There's weird stuff going on in this show, but it's done well. It's clean. The paint job is good. No real complaints there. There you go. Yeah, looks good. The hair is good. Paint job is good. Sculpt is good. No real problems. It is not shaded at all, but I don't mind it. I think it looks all right. The sculpt is good. I'm pleased with it. Aesthetically, it's pretty good. All right, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. I do think it needs a little bit of paint on there to bring it to life, but it's still fine the way it is. Now, as far as accessories go, we'll start with the hands, because you get a ton of hands, just regular hands for posing and whatnot. Then you get a set of hands with swords coming out of the palms. Like I said, weird stuff on this show. Is he like Baraka or Wolverine, or does he do a juju where his swords come out of his palms? I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. So you get that. You get a whole alternate head with his cool mask thing that I like a whole bunch. That's a nice look. And a bandana that has some articulation to it on a little ball peg. So yeah, that's good. Nicely done. For alternate faces, you get the face that comes on him in the package, kind of a stern face. Then you get one where I guess he's blowing. I don't know what that is. And then you get a smiling one and an angry one, and then one where he looks like Naruti with cat eyes. And then lastly, you get his big fan thing that is a thing. It has this metal chain, which is pretty cool on it. I like that they did that out of real metal. So that metal part tabs in up here, and then also under his armpit, I have no idea what's going on with this with this character. There's some weird stuff. This whole Narudi line is something else. Well, the whole show is. I guess the line is just what the show is. But yeah, that goes in there. And I couldn't tell you why, but you get that. So accessory-wise, 9 out of 10. Lots of good stuff. All right, for articulation, the head moves around really well. No problems in there. Oops, the hair can pop off if you push it. But yeah, the head moves around really nicely, so that's good. The shoulders, really good range. It's kind of a unique setup for the shoulder here, but it works well. It's almost like what I've been describing I want the Dragon Ball figures to have, that the socket part can rotate around at an angle, and this one does. So he can raise his arm up that way, way better than horizontal. Of course, it can go down as well. Pretty nice. And then you can bring it across the chest easier with this design. Can get a little annoying at times, but yeah, it works. It works way better than most of the things we're seeing. So, I mean, that's about as good a butterfly joint as you can get, mixing aesthetic with range. So that's pretty nice. I like that. Yeah, that's good. Then you get your bicep swivel there. Double jointed elbow. Not the best range in the world given the design. I think it's reasonable. Elbow's not even particularly ugly. I'll take it. This Narudi line is still firing on all cylinders. Little ball hinge for the wrist. This side is basically the same thing. I mean, he doesn't have the sleeve on there to make it a little thicker, so you get a little bit better range. But it's mostly the same type of stuff, especially in the shoulder. So yeah, it works well. Surprisingly well, I would say. For the torso, this is not the best part. He has pretty limited range in the torso. He can lean forward well enough. He can lean back, not that far, side to side, just a little bit. So it's not great. All of this going on in here is quite limiting. And then for his skirt, it does have cuts in it, but there's still a decent amount of material wrapping around here that is connected, so it doesn't flex as well as you might like. We're going to find out in just a second how it works with the hips. So let's see. Going forward, it flexes enough. It does bring this whole piece around, and that's what I was saying is, because it's connected in a semi-circle up here, there's a lot to flex, and so it's pulling the whole thing forward rather than just flexing the front. But you could probably work with it. You get decent enough range there. Going out to the side, it's fine. That works well, so that's good. And then going back, can we go back? We can, and it just goes through the seam there. So that's not bad. Like, his legs work pretty well. Thigh swivel is fine. Double jointed knee, not the best thing, but not bad at all. That should work. And then for the ankles, they do a lot of work on the ankles, whereas the Dragon Ball figures are made out of Legos and garbage in the ankles. These guys have a ball peg at the top, so you get rotation here. But then at the ball peg, you get rotation, of course, and extra wiggle. And then you get the ankle part that goes all the way forward and all the way back and gives you a really nice ankle rocker. And you get a toe hinge, which works pretty darn well. It's not perfect, but it's fine. So yeah, good ankles, good legs. Everything on this guy is good except for the torso. And probably the source material. Oh, boom, roasted, got him. Narudi fans hate it when I make jokes, so I like to. But yeah, this guy, another strong release for Narudi fans. Like, I don't know what's going on with Dragon Ball and One Piece. Dragon Ball is very hit or miss. One Piece is almost all miss. And Narudi, as far as I know, has been all hits. They need to make a new Gaara. Did they make a new Gaara? Didn't they only make a Gaara for the first batch of Narudi figures? Or was he one of the newer ones? No, he wasn't. That's the Sand Wizard, isn't he? I don't know. Anyway, it's good. Articulation guy on this guy is going to be an 8. It's pretty solid. Torso sucks, but the rest is good. Time for the final verdict on this guy. I'm sad once again because it's another Narudi figure that blows all of the One Piece figures except for like one out of the water. And Dragon Ball is still somewhere in the middle, being bored. So I'm going to give this guy an overall rating of 9. I'm going to say 9. Accessories are good. It looks good enough, and it poses well enough. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't go that high. That seems too high for not enough shading and a bad torso. I'll go 8.5. I have to try to be as fair as possible. 8.5 out of 10 for this guy. If you're a Narudi fan, this is one to pick up, unless he's not a popular character, in which case, don't buy him at all? I don't know how that works. I don't know. Do you guys buy characters you don't like if they're from a franchise you do like and it's a good figure? That's another question of the day. I buy bad characters all the time. Okay, so there it is. Thanks for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please do give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down. And if you haven't subscribed, you should. I have new videos just about every single day, and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.